How's it going, everybody? Nikki D here, coming to you live. Sicky Nikki D. Not feeling super well today, but I figured, you know what? We make a little video. I think I got a head cold going on, and I could kind of tell it was coming yesterday. You know, you're getting like the cold shivers. You know, the head's not feeling great. So, but yeah, we're gonna do a little movie review, and I think it'll be fine. So let's kind of get into it. So this one's gonna be called Red Rooms. I thought it was actually a pretty interesting movie. Now we're gonna do a spoiler section, of course, at the end of the movie or partway through, and I'll have that timestamp now and in the chapters on the video. So there you go. So non-spoilers first. So, non-spoilers, yeah, this is a Quebec-made movie, so it's always cool to see a Canadian movie. You know, I'm Canadian, so you know I like to see it. I overall, I will actually say I thought it was pretty good. So the movie basically is just around the main premise anyway is around court, so it's like a courtroom drama. You know, someone who has done some grisly murders, and a main character that gets kind of obsessed into the court and the trial, and you know, wants to delve into it. You know, I would say like I almost really want to move to the spoiler section. I'm gonna move to the spoiler section pretty early because there's a lot I'd like to talk about. But overall, like, it's not a horror movie. I would say it's more of like maybe a thriller to psychological horror, but I would go more on the lines of thriller. You know, maybe a little bit more than thriller, but you know what I mean, kind of in that ballpark. I think it was really well done, though. There's a lot of scenes that shine in the movie, and I think the main actress who plays the character Kellyanne, I think she does really, really well. And you really understand, right, like her obsession throughout the movie for not only just the trial, but for other things as well. Yeah, if I had to rate it, like, I mean, I don't know, out of five, I'd probably give it a four. It was pretty solid. It's definitely up my it's up my alley. They don't show anything like disturbing. There is the idea of things that are disturbing, but they're not like shown on camera. So that could be kind of nice, and if that like would freak you out, like turn you off from the film, I think you'll be fine. But I really like to talk about spoilers because I want to give a quick overview to the plot, and I really want to talk about the main character in depth. So we'll move into spoilers. So yes, spoiler section. So you've been warned. Here we go. So the main plot, like I said, is pretty simple. There was three murders of women that were ages, like, I believe it was 13 to 16 years old. They all look pretty similar too. They've got blonde hair, blue eyes. They're of that young age range. And the killer, the defendant, you know, has an admirer named Clementine who is all about defending him. You know, their relationship I might have missed, like why she was so, you know, I gotta defend him. However, it's interesting when she meets Kellyanne because they kind of form a relationship around the trial. There's a lot of scenes throughout the movie where I don't think things are completely explained. Like, while Kellyanne would like sleep outside, for example. So she has an apartment and she'll sleep outside, which I don't really know if I understood why. I didn't get that personally. But there's a lot of scenes that I think do a lot of justice. That she's always on her phone gambling on poker, and she explains that too. She takes you know, takes advantage of someone when they're emotional, right? And I feel in the end of the movie, and by the way, I don't feel like she's a hero. At the end of the movie, she ends up finding a missing video of evidence and tracks a bunch of currency exchange, which basically all linked to actually him getting paid, and the third video where he was really visible, because I guess the first two he had a mask, so it was unsure if it was him. So she actually basically solves the crime. He was pretty much going to get locked away anyway, but she kind of solves it at the end. But I don't believe she did it for like justice. She did it for like her own obsession, which is shown throughout the movie. Like when she dresses up as one of the girls in the uniform in the court scene just to get a reaction. You know, she goes to one of the killed daughter's bedrooms and like takes selfies, you know, with the peace sign up. Stuff like that, right? Really shows her obsession, which I thought was really well done. And she sacrifices everything, you know. She sells all her money. She gets rid of all her money, like in Bitcoin, to buy the video, the missing video, and she gets it, and then eventually it gets in, you know, she kind of hands it to the mother and it gets in. But I think it was also like a taunt to the mother. But like, now you're going to have to watch this too, right? I thought it was really interesting too, because they show a lot of scenes where there's a lot to talk about, but I mean, we're not going to go into all of it. But there's a lot to talk about, but there's a scene in particular that I really like. One that she's got her, I don't know if you call it like an AI, but when she hears a joke from it and she immediately puts it in the grinder. I'm wondering if like she's realizing at that point she could be caught. That's what was signifying there. I don't know, but she seemed really confident with it earlier. But the scene I was thinking about was there's a particular scene where Clementine realizes that she already has the videos. She's already seen them. Even out of the court, she already knows, she's already seen them. So it's kind of wild because she's clearly got an online presence, and, she doesn't reveal everything to Clementine. In bits and pieces, she does, but not everything. And the technology aspect of it, I mean, I work in IT. I thought it was pretty well done. DuckDuckGo is an actual thing, right? Like that's an actual tool to be used. And it was actually pretty logical when she's on the computer working. Like you're like, okay, I can follow this, right? What she's doing on the computer, right? And I thought that was just cool because a lot of things will just show like hacking scenes or whatever, and they don't really make any sense. If you actually know anything about computers at all, you'd be like, it doesn't really add up. But that one was pretty good. I am a little sickly, so I'm going to end the video. You can probably hear it with my nose all clogged up. But overall, I thought it was a pretty darn good movie. I really don't have anything negative to say on it. So that's kind of surprising. I know a lot of these recent movie reviews I've been doing, some of them have been a little negative. But I think overall it was a pretty stellar movie, actually, and a pretty good performance from everybody involved. And again, also really, really cool to see a Quebec movie. Multiple comments of like Montreal and stuff, which is like, I love Montreal. So it's great to see that and hear that. So yeah, great movie. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.